Dexter Roswell. Tonight, I will show that with hard work, heart, and belief in myself, that I can achieve a dream. And what's that dream, you ask? Tonight, it's to beat you in the middle of that ring. 1, 2, 3. And after your defeat, I hope you take it as a lesson that bashing people's dreams will get you nowhere, and for sure get you nowhere close to your dream of making Stride great again. Because this army of dreamers, we let no one stop us from chasing our dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of Brave the Storm. We are in Pinckneyville. I'm Kevin Huntsberger alongside Gaylord Stevens, the manager of champions.
Reluctantly, I've got better things to do, but I guess I'll sit in for this one.
Well, I'm glad you came back for part 2 of this phenomenal night of wrestling action. The DR party not endearing themselves with any of the fans here in Stride Pro Wrestling, the voters, because Dexter Roswell wants to make Stride great again, but he hasn't really said how he plans to do that.
Is there a special election coming up? What is this man running?
Well, he does a lot of talking. I think that he would fit in quite well with you and your cronies.
Wait, I'm not running for any kind of political office, though. This man seems like he's building up to something, like he needs votes, but what does he need votes for?
Well, he wants the support, and there's the hand sanitizer coming into play. Of course, shaking hands and kissing babies can be a germy proposition.
He appears to be a fan favorite, though. He's getting a lot of hands to shake.
Well, I don't know how much they're enjoying.
I guess come election day.
Dexter Roswell slamming the fans here, but J.D. Wilk kind of criticizing him for being the dream chaser. J.D. Wilk obviously has a positive message for the young people here watching tonight in Pinckneyville.
But so is J.D. Wilk also running for political office? Is this his opponent in the upcoming election, or is this a match we're going to watch here?
This is going to be a match. It's hashtag Dream Chaser. J.D. Wilk coming to us from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. A high flyer, has a lot of support here from the crowd in Pinckneyville and beyond. We've seen JD in some action here. He's had some trouble with the DR party. Dexter Roswell and his bodyguard Brian Richards, along with Nathan Bragg, a former referee who turned and joined forces with the DR Party. So now the DR Party pretty strong, although Bragg not here tonight. I think maybe a little fear factor going on with J.D. Wilk, who clearly is the better man in that matchup. But we'll find out tonight if he can take on the head of the DR Party and take care of him.
Wilk clearly has the majority of the fans on his side, but we will see what the electoral college has to say about that, the outcome.
That may get into some fuzzy math for sure, but I think, yeah, by popular vote, it's obvious, it's clear that it is J.D. Wilk as he gets ready to face Dexter Roswell. Let me ask you this. We talked 2 weeks ago in our show, Farmer Billy Hill's ring attire. Take a look at Dexter Roswell, how he's dressed. A shirt, tie, and a pair of dress slacks.
Well, I wouldn't advise it, but at least it's professional. I mean, the guy's running for public office. Am I incorrect in that statement? I mean, this is the way he should dress. You dress for success. You dress for the job that you want. This man obviously has high goals set for himself.
He does, extending the hand there. Just wants to shake his hand. Says he'll be honest here, but he's got his hand behind his back, too. And J.D. Wilk making the rookie mistake, turning his back on Dexter Roswell.
No fault of Roswell there, that he just wanted a clean match. I mean, there's no reason to turn your back on your opponent.
Well, Roswell takes a quick advantage with the cheap shot, but then a quick headlock as well. And Wilk down to one knee.
What's Roswell's healthcare policy? Are you familiar with that?
I have not read up on all of his positions. I know that
he does have a platform, correct?
Well, his platform is to make Stride great again. I think Stride's already pretty great.
Really?
I do.
Well, in Willisville, we have a healthcare policy. It's called if you're sick or old, we throw you in a ditch and you live out the rest of your life there.
Remind me not to ever head to Willisville.
Only the strong survive in Willisville. You should know that.
That is true. We have seen that with Axe Allworth, an associate of yours for a long time. Leapfrog there, and Roswell showing some acrobatics as well. Gets a Hana Karana for his efforts, though. And Roswell not looking nice.
Does he have a political strategy involved in these matches?
I don't know that he does. I think he wins at any cost.
Well, that is a strategy. I mean, if Roswell knows the political game, he knows strategy, and that's wrestling. Wrestling is all about strategy. I know that. You should know that. You've been watching wrestling as long as I do.
Well, you have definitely made some good strategies and some good moves in your years in the ring and outside the ring, as we see Brian Richard kind of stalking around the ring as well.
It's always nice to have the numbers in your match.
Well, that's what my point was going to be. J.D. Wilk out here by himself, clearly at a disadvantage as Brian Richard helps his boss back up to his feet.
It's always nice to have a little moral support out there.
Whoa! Wilk goes airborne and takes out both members of the DR Party.
Dream chaser, baby.
But now he's playing to the camera. There's no time for that.
Reminding us he is the Dream Chaser. Although the DR Party could cause a nightmare for J.D. Wilk and the fans here. As Wilk is now going out to the fans, meeting and greeting the fans here.
I think he might be running for political office here. I mean, what other reason would he want to grab hand these fans?
As Roswell tries to escape, but
is he stealing votes here?
Now this may be where the suit and tie come to a disadvantage, as he was dragged back into the ring by that tie.
Well, I disagree. You could use the tie to choke your opponent.
Good point. As we see now,
I'm not sure what's happening here. I think he tripped and he's trying to get his balance back. It's just taking longer than
Brian Richard clearly trying to keep J.D. Wilk from getting back into the ring, but takes his kick.
I don't think it was clearly because he fell down there. He obviously lost his balance. And a weird corkscrew type inverted maneuver.
Using his brains there. He has the brains as we have the brawn of J.D. Wilk. The high-flying ability we mentioned it earlier.
Brains will always win out over Wilk. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that completely. as J.D. Wilk is driven to the mat here. Roswell really needs to consider following up. There he goes.
He's really working that neck. I mean, he's twisted it every way possible. And in some ways, it shouldn't be twisted in that manner, and he's done it. I don't see how Wilk can recover from that.
Wilk also coming back from an injury. You see that right elbow is heavily bandaged. And here we go again. Brian Richards with the outside interference. This is the DR Party's MO. They like that numbers game.
And I think he's trying to help him back into the ring now. And he's successful as he rolls him back.
I don't think he was trying to help him do anything other than help his boss get the advantage here.
Yeah, just being a good Samaritan, he was on the scene and he helped the man out and get back in the ring.
Roswell now taking full advantage of this situation as he pledges allegiance to the DR Party here.
Smashing that face right into the apron.
Getting a taste of the mat is J.D. Wilk right now. And Dexter Roswell goes for a casual cover here. And only the 2 count.
So, what are the plans here for this man? Is he trying to revamp the roster? Is he trying to take over management? I mean, he's trying to make it great again, but how?
Well, that's, like many politicians, Dexter Roswell is a lot of talk, and we don't see a whole lot of action on him. He talks a big game of making Stride great again.
Well, I'm thinking his hands might be tied by management. He's trying to make it great, but management is not. They're scared of change, and they're not allowing him to do his good works.
Well, he has had some confrontations as we go for a pin here with Sam Hunter, and now a Schoolboy. Oh, he throws out of that, but Roswell kicks Wilk right to the face. Says he's going to finish him off. A little overconfident and a little cocky with that cover.
I think if he would have hit him with the normal cover there, he would have done it.
Well, it's going to take a lot to take J.D. Wilk out. He is has a great fighting spirit and an up-and-comer here in Stride Pro Wrestling and beyond. We've seen him in some other matches with other companies and competitions around the country.
Oh, is that a Russian leg sweep? No, he doesn't have the Russians involved in his political meanderings, does he?
Well, it very well may have taught him that move. That was a Russian leg sweep.
Has he denied all collusion with the Russians, or is this party on its own?
The GR Party seems to be on their own. He hasn't said much about any kind of partnerships or collusion.
So his man outside the ring hasn't accused himself of any kind of action with Russia?
Not yet, but obviously, J.D. Wilk had that whole growth, and Roswell claiming to be an honest politician. We've seen very little honesty out of this man since making his debut in Stride Pro Wrestling.
What is he lied about? I haven't heard any lies come out.
Well, we've seen some actions not very honorable. We'll put it at that.
Okay, I don't want you to slander the man here watching this match.
No slander as he hooks the leg. It may happen there. But once again,
I mean, calling a man a liar that's pretty bold on your part.
A look at the action, a look at the crowd here in Pinckneyville. Capacity crowd coming out to support storm victims after recent storms here in Southern Illinois, as Roswell now contemplating a climb to the top rope.
He might win a few votes here with this move.
Oh!
No.
And as some might say, Roswell's eggs just got scrambled.
Oh, lowbrow humor, Huntsberger, please.
And look at this. Wilt going up to the top here. Could we get it?
Oh! Pile driven right into the mat.
Man, his head bounced right off that mat, too. I think if Wilt took something out of him with that move as well, but could he perhaps get the cover here? He might pick up the win.
This could affect the campaign of Dexter Roswell after that move. I don't know if he's going to know where he's at in the next few weeks.
That is absolutely a possibility. Although he has his bearings about him to throw a punch. Oh, and a nice boot a kick right to the face. And Wilt reciprocates, and then a slap, an open hand slap, which is perfectly legal.
advisable. I mean, that is going to infuriate your opponent. Oh, as you can see.
Nice enziguri kick
That
there.
might knock him right off the campaign trail.
He's on rubber legs for sure. As JD Wilk now sizing up Roswell, I think he may have him where he wants him. What will he do next here? Oh,
that could be it.
And again, Brian Richards
A
playing
concerned
factor here.
citizen, just a concerned citizen, up on the apron asking the referee what's going on.
And Wilk, of course, has his back to Roswell, which is not a good thing ever.
Why is he badgering this citizen?
Oh! I think you and Axe Allward have had some collisions like that in the past.
I don't recall. Great reversal. Oh!
Look at this.
Oh my!
Hooks the leg. And JD Wilk picks up the win over Dexter Roswell despite the many obvious outside interference attempts going on by Brian Richards. The GR party once again suffering an L here.
This is a political disaster, in my opinion.
And Richards now showing his frustration. And here comes Sam Hunter, our general manager.
First of all, Coach, you touch me one more time, you're on the unemployment line.
Threatening to fire the DR party here.
You guys are around here, and you want to make me out to be a joke because I tell you, you know what, none of this 2-on-1 crap or whatever. Well, you're going to be the end of the joke, and you were already the end of the joke because he just kicked your butt. And you want to be a joke? I got somebody right here for you to fight if you want to do this 2-on-1 joke.
Sounds like Hunter's going to make a match here.
Why is everyone always picking on this political campaign of Dexter Roswell? Why are they always picking on him?
Well, Brian Richards obviously interfering here, and look at this! It is the return of Curly. We haven't seen Curly in a Stride Pro Wrestling ring since November at our Redbird Rumble. It's great to see Curly back here in action, and you have a history with Curly.
I've got a history with pretty much everyone in the world of wrestling. Not always the prettiest thing, and it's the same with Curly.
Of course, Curly gets that name. He's covered in tattoos, a huge fan of the Three Stooges as he's trying to get these fans engaged and participate here with him and his antics.
So is Curly going to wrestle here? Is that to my understanding?
Yes, Sam Hunter has just made the match. Brian Richards must face Curly now. A nice surprise here as he has made his way back to Stride Pro Wrestling.
So what I'm hearing here is Stride Pro Wrestling is all about cheating. It seems like every time they put a man in the ring, he always has to fight somebody he doesn't know he's going to fight. That's what I'm seeing here. There's a pattern, and it's never one of the fan favorites that has to fight some mystery.
Well, that's not necessarily the case. I assume you're referring to our show 2 weeks ago when your fellas Maximum Overdrive lost to the Stone Cold Plumpster and mystery partner James Storm.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Every time a man that I like gets in the ring, well, we got a mystery guy you're going to have to fight. They're not prepared for it, and they have to fight him immediately. And then look at this. This is ridiculous. How can you wrestle this?
Well, that's the thing. Curly clearly an unorthodox individual and lifts a leg on the DR party. I think a lot of people would like to do that.
I mean, these guys seem to be fan favorites to me. From the crowd reaction, I think they definitely have the Electoral College on their side.
They may have the Electoral College on their side, but Curly not on their side, nor is JD Wilk, who is going to stick around to maybe even the sides up as Dexter Roswell will be in the corner of Brian Richards.
Well, how are they evening the sides? They've got 3 guys out there.
Well, we have a young fan who is obviously Team Curly, has a championship belt and a t-shirt to prove it.
So does the commission of this league, he clearly has some sort of grudge against the DR.
I don't think that there's any sort of grudge or collusion between General Manager Sam Hunter and his feelings toward the DR Party. The DR Party has kind of provoked and picked some fights that they maybe haven't been able to fulfill their obligations.
Well, they're clearly making some big promises, but it seems like you're a little biased here. They're trying their best to fulfill these promises, but then we got a mystery opponent for you. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous the situation is.
Well, obviously, though, the DR party getting involved in a 2-on-1 situation against J.D. Wilk, and General Manager Sam Hunter saw enough. He brought Curly in to kind of even the score, even the odds.
So Curly just happened to be there. That's real convenient. He knew beforehand. He called up Curly. This is political assassination as far as I'm concerned. He wanted Curly to prove a point. He was going to do this no matter what.
That's up to Sam Hunter to
stop protecting Sam Hunter. Please stop protecting Sam Hunter.
Sam Hunter is an honorable man and running this company very successfully, I might add.
He signs your paycheck, right?
Well, that's besides the point.
No, I think it's exactly the point.
The first year here in Stride Pro Wrestling has been a very successful one. Fundraisers galore, as we're seeing here tonight. Brave the Storm Part 2 and a collar and elbow tie-up. And Brian Richard, kind of a deceptively strong wrestler here in Stride Pro Wrestling, as he'll need that strength against Curly.
Obviously, he just powered the man back into the corner.
And a chop right across the chest. Curly feeling a little pain from that. And mocking now Curly and his Three Stooges stick.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to sit too well with Curly. I've had too many matches against this man to know. My men that face Curly, you do not mock him. He will come at you full bore.
And how do you prepare for someone like Curly? He is so unorthodox and just gets in there and doesn't seem to really give any regard to anything or anyone.
To be honest, like I said before, that this was a complete surprise. It might be to their advantage that they didn't know they were going to fight. Because if you prepare for, there's no preparing for Curly. So it may be actually to their advantage that they didn't know they were going to fight.
Ooh, a slap to the face there. Not a great thing to do to a guy like Curly. He'll lose his temper here before long. He's an even-keeled, nice guy that the fans seem to love and embrace, but
a little slow mentally.
Well, that's besides the point.
Well, I think it's exactly the point. You're saying he's even-keeled. He's just not that smart of a person. I mean, look at that. He's got tattoos and the Three Stooges all over him. I mean, that's how you beat them. You got to use his brain against him. That's fairly easy.
Curly clearly still in great shape. Brian Richard trying to show off some of those muscles.
Trying.
No tickets for this gun show, I'm saying.
But this isn't a flexing contest. This is a wrestling match.
That is true. And again, we talked about the Stride Pro Wrestling School. Both members of the DR Party have gone through the program here. Brian Richards and Dexter Roswell, and Nathan Bragg, for that matter, who is not here tonight, kind of conspicuous by his absence.
I hear they all graduated with flying colors.
Well, they didn't really endear themselves as they finished up and completed their graduation ceremonies, putting the boots to their trainer, Keith Hatton, who is the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Oh! Another smack to the face.
Never trust a politician. That's what I'm learning from the DR.
Well, now that we know who butters your bread, I think it's obvious why you would think that.
And now Richards inviting Curly to slap.
Oh, no. Not a smart move.
And that might have slapped the taste right out of his mouth. As Richards now outside, and maybe a little dissension here going on. As Richards,
I would be upset too. You never let someone slap you.
No, absolutely not. Especially someone with Curly's experience and obvious size difference here as well. Never give Curly an advantage because he will take it to the extreme. Gonna get another collar and elbow tie-up here.
A little go behind.
But what can he do here with it? Curly
not much.
Reverses it. And Roswell cheering from outside the ring, encouraging his man to take advantage, getting a little frustrated at the same time.
Does Curly even want to get this win, or does he just want to humiliate the opponent? That's my question.
Well, I don't know the conversation that was had between General Manager Hunter and Curly. That may be the goal here.
I'm sure it happened weeks in advance, this conversation you're talking about.
Well, That's not for me to decide.
I mean,
or
clearly
judge
you
here.
do not want to talk about that. I mean, maybe we should just get back to the match. You don't plead the fifth on that one.
Yes.
I mean, you may have been involved. It may have been a three-way conversation. This could have been a little phone chat you guys had. A little phone conference.
Well, I'm not that technologically sound, so I
But
wouldn't
you
know
still got a
anything
flip
about
phone
that.
or something?
Well, no, I don't. But
You can borrow my shoe phone the next time you want to talk to somebody. Go live.
that infamous phone, yes. Hopefully it doesn't ring during the course of this match, as now Richard's begging for mercy here. Will Curly show him any, though, is the thing.
This has got to be a trap.
Unless
Unless he is a good politician.
Oh! Takes that head, rams it right into that bottom turn.
That's what I'm talking about with Curly. You can take advantage of the fact that he is not the smartest guy in the world of wrestling. I mean, obviously that was a trick. Fell right for it.
And Richard now using the ropes to his advantage to choke Curly out. Referee Lane Austin getting in there, though, reminding him what he's doing is not legal. Now a boot to the back of the head.
That shouldn't have much effect on Curly.
What are you implying?
Nothing. I've said it time and time again. Curly is not the smartest man in wrestling.
Uh-oh.
Look at this. He's going nuts now.
He's knucking up. Or yucking up. Oh! Forearm right to the face. A couple of them. Now Curly is mad. And don't want to make Curly mad. Here he comes. That patented clothesline. And Richard now probably regretting his decision to insult Curly now.
Curly going to the top rope. This is a huge mistake.
We don't see that very often as he is up high.
What's he going to do up there?
Well, we'll find out. Elbow drop right across the groin. Hooks the leg.
The old elbow drop to the groin off the top rope from Curly.
I don't think you'll see that in many wrestling textbooks by any means, but it got the job done as Curly has emerged victorious here in his return to Stride Pro Wrestling. It's been a while since we've seen him here, Gaylord.
Now, is that his new finishing move, an elbow to the groin off the top rope?
We'll have to check into that and find out for sure.
And why was that not a disqualification? I mean, you can't hit somebody. I mean, why would you be able to drop an elbow off the top rope directly to him?
That's going to be another question for Sam Hunter.
Oh, good. Another question for the guy that brought him in. That's very nice.
For all the fans of Stride Pro Wrestling, yes, you did see me lose to JD Wilk, but that was just a fluke, and you can better believe that we will be coming back stronger than ever, and we are here to make Stride great again.
We are back. Dexter Roswell clearly hurting after his encounter with JD Wilk and Curly. And now we are seeing the Legacy Champion Tony Flood and his wife Alexa, and a brand new robe there made for Tony Flood for this occasion.
That was, what, $5,000 he had to put down just to, as a retainer to get that, correct?
Well, you know, I didn't see the documentation on what he paid for that, but clearly Tony Flood not a happy man, even though he is the Stride Pro Wrestling Legacy Champion, as he and Alexa preparing for an intergender tag team matchup here. But these two have had quite a run with Jerry Travelstead, T-Dog, and Travelstead, the superintendent, the principal here at Pinckneyville Consolidated 204, and helped put together this big fundraiser, Brave the Storm. We appreciate his efforts putting that together. As
Okay, so let's get the guy a pat. What, you want to get him a medal now? So now, just because he did this, he's going to step in the ring with a pro wrestler?
well, Travelstead is a wrestler himself. T-Dog has been in there.
Okay, he's been in the ring. Now, tell me more.
Well, he is the former Legacy Champion as well.
Whoa! So that you're telling me this man's had gold?
He has had gold. T-Dog is the very first Legacy Heavyweight Champion.
So he does have some level of credibility. But who's his tag team partner in this match?
Well, his tag team partner is the physical education teacher here at Community Consolidated 204. She goes by the Shaniac, and from what I have seen and heard of the Shaniac, she is a ball flyer.
Really? So they're clearly at the disadvantage here. She's clearly never stepped in. He is a novice at best, and they're going up against a champion.
That's right, Tony Flood and Alexa Flood. But they have been a thorn in the side of T-Dog for quite some time.
T-Dog? So what, are they coming to his school and messing with him? I mean, how are they a thorn in his side?
Well, very early on in Stride Pro Wrestling, Tony Flood made it clear that he did not like Jerry Travelstead, pointing out many of the things you have pointed out, that he is a novice, if you will, in the ring, a teacher, an educator who is aspiring to be a professional wrestler.
But doesn't belong in the ring.
I don't know that you can argue that he shouldn't belong in the ring. He has a dream to step through the ropes and wrestle.
Who doesn't have one?
And he has gone through the proper channels to make that happen. And now, using his time in the ring to help others, and I think it's a noble cause.
Noble. So if he's seriously hurt in that, you would still be 100% behind him. If he's seriously hurt tonight, injured in the ring.
Well, I know that T-Dog has trained and has learned the ropes, no pun intended, but Sam Hunter making this match a lumberjack and Jill match as we get other educators around the ring here.
So he's clearly setting this at a disadvantage for Tony.
Well,
there's no wrestlers. None of his peers are going to be out.
Tony Flood is not an innocent man. He and Alexa Flood, as I mentioned, have caused nothing but trouble. They fooled the fans. They pulled the wool over the eyes of General Manager Sam Hunter with this whole El Fabuloso charade, for lack of a better word.
El Fabuloso? What are you talking about?
Well, Tony Flood donned a mask after he was fired. Then he worked his way back in and signed a contract under the pretense of being El Fabuloso. He was known as Alejandro Fabuloso, AF, Anthony Flood, and he was able to work his way into the ring once again and work his way into a match where he won the Legacy Championship from T-Dog. These seem like antics that you and your fellows would pull. Axel Words and Jay Wellington Beauregard, of course, Scott Phoenix.
You know, it's completely the opposite. Do you remember Super Castaldi? Remember that time I killed that guy in the ring? There was a guy that was trying to dress up like some luchador, and I killed the guy. So don't bring this on my doorstep. I hate people that wrestle in masks. They have something to hide. The last time I got in the ring with a guy with a mask, there was a decapitation.
Well, I do remember that, and you're exactly right about something to hide. Tony Flood hiding his true identity, but now we see him for who he is, and of course Alexa Flood. These two are quite the power couple in Stride Pro Wrestling, but causing all kinds of trouble, and now having that gold as the Legacy Champion, Tony Flood even more dangerous.
I think the jury's still out if he was actually this mass superstar you're talking about.
Well, our ringside photographer, Steve Belcher, caught it all on digital camera, and those images on the Stride Pro Wrestling Facebook page. Be sure to check that out. You can get to it by simply going to strideprowrestling.com. You'll also find our Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube links. But if you're watching this match, you're already on our YouTube channel.
Wait a minute,
appreciate that support.
Your proof is that there's a picture on the internet?
Yes, that is my proof.
That's your ironclad proof that this man was the mass superstar. Is that there's a picture on the internet. It was clearly done.
No doctrine going on by any means. I know Steve Belcher is a man of integrity when it comes to photographing Stride Pro Wrestling events and putting it out there on Facebook for the fans to see. And that's why I think Tony Flood gets a little heat with Sam Hunter, the general manager, because he made a fool of him.
Well, so the photographer took a picture of Flood in a compromising position.
Well, you know, Tony Flood won the championship and then unmasked right there in the ring, and the pictures prove that. He fooled everyone, and now this is a lumberjack match. The lumberjacks are some educators here. They need to get Flood back in the ring, as they all have boards and paddles too. I call them the Board of Education.
So I assume that they're going to give the same treatment to the teachers that they get at something.
Well, I suppose if they are thrown out of the ring or leave the ring, they will, yes.
Oh, please, Hansberg. This is clearly one-sided to the max. And we don't even know if this guy was wearing a mask, donning this thing. I still haven't seen proof of it.
Well, I'll get you hooked up with the Facebook page. I don't know if your shoe phone allows that kind of download to go on.
I don't have the data.
Oh! Flood trying to stomp on the hands of T-Dog. T-Dog got out of the way and stomps on Flood's toes.
And what right? This man should have his privacy right here in the United States. That someone can just take a picture of him at any time and then post it all over the internet.
He was in the squared circle. All is fair in love and war and in the wrestling ring.
Okay, I'll remember that then later on. If something weird happens in the ring, that it is fair. Correct.
Well, right now it is fair as T-Dog clearly getting the support of the crowd here, his students out here, the parents out here to support him, and the Shaniac. I can't wait to see the Shaniac get in there. And by the way, this match, anything goes.
The men can wrestle the women in this match?
The men can wrestle the women in this match if it sees fit. If a woman is tagged in and the man is still in the ring, that's what will go down.
So are there any criminal charges against Flood for this alleged actions he took?
Well, he was fired and removed from the ring by a couple of hired hands, but no, criminal action, no. No criminal charges have been filed as of yet.
So this is basically his punishment from the court.
I guess you're putting words in my mouth, but yeah, it would appear that way.
What's happening here?
Well, they're trying to get him back into the ring.
They're helping him. They're helping him out.
Flood clearly pushing the teachers away.
Because they're not doing their job.
Well, they're trying to do their job. Tony Flood preventing that from happening, though.
Clearly biased announcing on your part here.
And well,
they're still attacking him.
No, Tony Flood is mouthing. Look, he's kicking at them.
Because they're trying to hit him with a foreign object.
Well, everything is fair at this point.
Okay, and just as long as we establish that anything that these guys do is fair.
What's going on here as Tony Flood and Alexa Flood both feeling the power as the Shaniac makes her first appearance in this matchup.
This is her debut.
This is her debut. And the Board of Education loves it.
Now, if I was going to make a debut, I would want to make it where everything was on my side. Where I had all of my best friends and colleagues outside the ring to make sure that I did very well.
And now a double collar elbow and a toss down. Both Alexa Flood and Tony Flood crashing to the mat, and the fans are loving it.
I will admit it has been a strong debut so far.
Shaniac now wanting some more action here as Alexa Flood not sure what to think. I believe she's going to come in here and take over.
I believe they called for an official timeout.
Well, Gaylord, we know there are no timeouts in this business.
Yes, you get 3.
3?
Yes, every 20 minutes you get 3 timeouts.
Tony Flood now begging for mercy here. He is the legacy champion. Not looking very champion-like as he's bowed down here to the former champ.
Now, I assume that his title is not on the line in this match, correct? I mean, they've done everything else to really screw him over as far as they've got their own colleagues outside the ring, and he wasn't really prepared for this match, so is his title on the line as well?
Flood is not defending the title as the Shaniac comes crashing down, and here we go. Her first action here is against Tony Flood, the legacy champion. She could make a name for herself, certainly here, as Flood was going to punch her there.
Has she signed a contract to wrestle Stride Pro Wrestling? Or is this a one-off deal for her?
This is a fundraiser matchup. I'm sure that she would be welcomed back anytime, though. I'm sure General Manager Sam Hunter would make that decision in a heartbeat.
Of course he would. But I can only imagine, though, if he did make that decision, it would be unbeknownst to her opponent.
Well, that is your view, I suppose, and you're entitled to that. As our fans are entitled to some great action, and they're seeing it now from the Shaniac as she has gotten a hold of that arm and has not let go.
She's really caught Flood off guard. He couldn't have been prepared for this.
And that's also got to play into the psychology of this match, getting in there against a woman. Although Flood did not look above trying to punch,
but he did not.
He did not, only because Shaniak was able to cinch that hold up tighter.
I disagree. I believe he didn't want to punch a woman.
Well, Flood now caught in a headlock here by T-Dog, the former and the first Legacy Heavyweight Champion, winning it right here in this very building in a ladder match back in November.
Remind me though, why is T-Dog not the champion?
Well, because Tony Flood doesn't like to play by the rules. He was fired, he was dismissed from this company, but came back under a mask. And,
allegedly.
There's no alleged to it.
Where?
Gaylord, I will show you the photographic evidence.
I don't have time to look at photographic evidence. I've got to call this match.
Oh, are you going to call that?
I didn't see it.
I need to the back of T-Dog.
You had me distracted with these photos, these doctored photos.
And now...
that may or may not exist.
Well, and for the first time, it appears that Tony Flood has the advantage in this matchup. And now they've cut that ring off and brought T-Dog into their corner.
And so where's this website where I can see these photos?
You can go to StrideProWrestling.com. That'll take you straight to our Facebook page, and you can check out the photo albums.
Are these like thumbnails that you can barely see, or?
No, these are full-fledged photos. Steve Belcher, a fantastic photographer, as Alexa now goes for the cover.
It's not like an artist rendition of what it may have looked like.
No Photoshop, no artist rendition by any means.
Is it Polaroid?
Alexa cartwheel into a splash there and goes for the cover, hooks the leg, unable to get it.
Appears T-Dog has bit off more than he can chew here in this match.
That may very well be the case as Tony Flood arguing with referee Lane Austin, calling it a 3 count. Clearly it was not.
He does not have the conditioning to be a wrestler, right? I mean, he's a superintendent. He's sitting behind a desk all day. There's no way he can be ready to step into the ring and wrestle.
He is an educator, but he is also a student of wrestling. He has been to the Stride School. He has wrestled and trained in other
Did
parts.
He graduate?
He has wrestled and trained in other parts.
But did he graduate?
That is beside the point.
I assume he dropped out, correct?
He is not a dropout. No.
Okay.
He has worked very hard.
I'll take that as a yes.
With
He's a dropout.
the Stride Pro Wrestling Champion, you can't get much better than that, getting under that learning tree. As Tony Flood now in full control here as they have cut the ring off. T-Dog not even in sight of his partner.
Did Heath Hatton teach him how to get out of this move?
Well, it looks like he may have showed him something here because look at this, a comeback by T-Dog. Oh!
Heath must have not told him about that big knee.
Absolutely not, as cover here, nonchalant.
If he wouldn't have dropped out, he would have known it. That's probably the day he missed, is the day that they talked about the big knee.
Is that a part of the school?
I believe so. That's day 3.
Okay, day 3. Come on, Jerry Travelstead has trained very hard to get to where he is today. As Alexa and Tony doing a little double teaming, and now fingers right to the eye.
Apparently, he did not train hard enough.
Breaks those eyes as Lane Austin getting in there, telling her to back up. And what's this? Come on. Referee not
Double
paying any
team
attention.
action.
Nice snap mare there. And now Alexa taunting the crowd.
As well as the teachers on the outside. As they should be taunted. They should not be out.
Well, somebody needs to even the odds up.
What do you mean even the odds?
Tony and Alexa Flood have used chairs, weapons.
The only reason they're in this match is under false pretenses of a doctor's court.
Anything and everything that they can do to take the advantage, they're going to do it.
So are you saying you're not innocent until proven guilty? In a court of law?
Well,
was this taken to court?
Look at that, running the eyes right across. Now, you can't deny that.
I think that was his chin he was running across the face.
Jerry Travelstead blinded him.
You got to admit, we had a bad angle.
Perhaps that may be the case, but Jerry Travelstead definitely needs to make that tag.
It looks like he should have spent some more time with the treadmill.
Oh! Flood goes over the top. I thought he was going to hit the floor. Luckily, he landed on the apron.
He has good ring awareness.
I will give Tony Flood that. He is one of the best when it comes to knowing where he is at all times in that ring.
Kevin Huntsberger, you're probably one of the worst at knowing. I mean, you almost fell out of your chair.
Well, because some of the atrocities that are going on here.
Well, atrocities, yeah, especially those doctored photos. That's the worst atrocity I've heard of all year.
Look at this. And Alexa now. Belly
Reverse.
oh,
Oh.
yeah, look at that. Slams her down to the mat.
Can you
hard.
believe what he just did to a woman?
Well, he's got to defend himself in both.
He could have done
of
something
these-
a little bit less violent as that maneuver there.
Both of these women knew what they were signing up for. As the tag obviously not seen by Lane Austin, our referee here. Flood back in there, and T-Dog's going to have to stick around for some more.
Is this top rope action?
It is top rope action here. What's going to happen?
Oh! That has got to be it.
Straight into the cover here, and it could be it.
Are you kidding me?
This is the heart I talked about earlier. T-Dog, obviously, clearly, a tough individual. Can't keep this man down. He went right off the top rope there and was able to kick out.
I've never seen anything like it.
Well, he was able to kick out at 2. But does not know where he's at.
I think the referee was so surprised by that he forgot to count.
Look at that. Tony Flood just shoving now. The Shaniac taunting her.
She was being very disrespectful.
Oh! T-Dog very close now. He can make the tag. Although I don't know that he wants the Shaniac in there against Tony Flood, who is ruthless and may do anything at any cost to win this match.
Oh! Including throwing an elbow into a woman's face.
Well, T-Dog defending himself here.
He's always just defending himself.
And T-Dog now blocking. Oh, look at this. Double team effort here.
And the referee's just allowing this.
T-Dog able to reverse.
Now, has this referee, has he graduated from anything?
He has graduated.
Really?
He is the senior official, really the only official.
So he is also the junior official.
Many times, the junior and senior official with Stride Pro Wrestling. Lane Austin, the hardest working man in Stride Pro Wrestling in my view.
Doing the best he can.
Well, he's doing a great job. He is doing a phenomenal
I wouldn't say he's doing great. I'm saying he's doing the best he can.
And there is the tag now. He sees it
He
this
did
time.
see it.
Shaniac ready to go here. She's amped up. She's been out for a while. Nice running clothesline. And here comes another one to Tony Flood. And you don't see the Floods treated like this very often.
She's clearly full of energy.
Well, she is the PE teacher. Physically fit and showing these two what it's all about. And they meet the hard way.
Oh. Some circles that's known as the old nutcracker.
And it's not even Christmas time. As Shaniac now...
A little early to celebrate, though.
Well, she's celebrating. She's getting some good moves in here. Oh! A little miscue there as Alexa Flood does that cartwheel under her own husband, and she's tossed to the floor.
Unceremoniously.
Will the teachers toss her back into the action here?
And the referee is condoning this 2-on-1 action.
Well, they have a 5 count.
Oh, and the junior official's out.
Lane Austin knocked to the floor here.
So, okay, so there is no other official.
Well, so it seems who's going to make the count here is Travel said 1, 2, 3 clearly has the win here.
But there's no referee. I think they should just go ahead and go this match out.
Well, the Shaniac is leaving.
Where does she go?
Well, here comes somebody in a referee shirt.
Wait a minute, you said there was only one ref.
Well, clearly that is a referee.
So wait, so you can just put on a ref shirt and come out, you're official referee here at Stride Pro Wrestling?
I believe he is a school employee.
Oh, so the janitor comes out.
Well, he's going to
puts on
count
a
out
referee
front here.
shirt. So clearly he doesn't know how to ref. You see how slow that count was? This guy should be mopping floors, not counting threes.
Flood sit to the corner here and whipped across. T-Dog rather, and Flood tries to make the charge here. Look at that, and now, oh! Nice super kick and hooks the leg.
Where's the ref? Very slow to get down there. Hey, are you kidding me?
Again,
There should be a
kicks out.
TV time limit on his counts. Are you kidding me? They went to commercial break while he was counting 2. They came back. He was just finishing up.
Now, why is Alexa Flood in here? She has no reason, no right to be in the ring right now. Clearly trying to bully her way in and take advantage of the Shaniac.
I think she's taking advantage of this referee. I mean, if you've got a 10 count, you're going to have at least, 3 hours to get in there and wrestle around?
Well, referee Lane Austin was taken out here. We have an impromptu referee.
You thought Lane Austin was bad. You got this impromptu janitor in there.
Well, I'm out here with you. I don't know what they have, provisions they have going on backstage. They perhaps had somebody on standby in case a referee was incapacitated.
I thought this guy, I thought I saw this guy earlier cleaning the ring out.
Look at this. Setting Flood up. Could this be a doomsday device? Legion of Doom.
Oh,
Look at that.
no.
Flood is out and pinned.
The referee doesn't know to counter to empty out a
1,
wastebasket here.
2.
Oh, is that an official win? I mean, come on. This is one of their colleagues. This guy cleans out their office every night, and now he's awarding them the win? Are you kidding me? They're going to be talking about this all day tomorrow at school while he gets them a fresh cup of coffee. I cannot believe this. This is a trap.
The Shaniac and T-Dog obviously working well together as a team. They work here at the school, as you've implied and mentioned here. But they work together as a team, beating a husband and wife duo
with a little
years
help.
of experience.
This is a conspiracy, I know.
Oh, come on.
Look at that. They're all buddying up with the referee after the match.
What could happen here? The referee, Lane Austin, still just now getting back to his feet. What would have happened?
He was clearly taking a breather out there so he could let this janitor call the 1, 2, 3.
A 5-pack matchup at Stride Pro Wrestling Return. It is for the Legacy title. Now it is time for the main event, and Big Roger Mathis is making his way to the ring. He is the #1 contender, Gaylord, to the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
So give me a little history about this #1 contender. What has he been through to get to this point tonight?
Well, Roger Mathis is, to quote Jim Ross, one of the guys I look up to in the world of professional wrestling. Roger Mathis is tougher than a $2 steak. This guy is the real deal. He is brutal inside that ring and beyond. He has put Keith Hatton through more than one table, and that's why this TLC match was signed. The belt suspended high above the ring. Tables, ladders, chairs, all is legal here as Mathis gets a good look and gazes up at that championship belt.
Has this match been sanctioned by the commission?
It has been, yes. Stride Pro Wrestling General Manager Sam Hunter officially signing off on this matchup. It's something both Hatton and Mathis wanted, and they're going to get what they want, but you sometimes have to be careful with what you wish for.
So I assume that Sam and Heath are buddy-buddy.
I wouldn't say that. I think that by the actions of Roger Mathis putting Keith Hatton through a table, clearly Mathis has an advantage when it comes to using tables and other illegal objects.
So I guess we'll see what kind of surprises Sam has in store for us here. This can't just be a normal match or a ladder match. There has to be some shenanigans.
This will be a TLC match. I don't think Sam Hunter has any agenda here.
No last-second surprises coming our way?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but when I was told about this match, I was told it would be a TLC match.
So there will be tables, there will be ladders and chairs, all legal.
All legal. Everything goes here. We have ladders set up around the ring. There are tables on standby and, of course, chairs. The only way to win this match is to climb to the top rope, climb to the top of the ladder and grab that championship belt.
But the referee has to witness it as well.
Exactly. The referee will have to see that happen.
Whether that's Lane or just some random guy that walks out with the referee shirt.
Well, Lane Austin is better now. He was checked out by our physician back in the locker room and was given the clearance to come back out. Whether or not there's going to be another referee injected into this match, I don't know.
Very shady. That's all I'm going to say. No further comment. That was real shady what we witnessed earlier.
His opponent is the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He weighs in at 215 pounds from Harrisburg, Illinois. Heath Hatton.
Well, it is clear by the chants from this crowd, they are behind Heath Hatton, Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He's worked hard for that belt and to hold on to that belt, taking on all comers, including Farmer Billy Hills and your former protege, Axe Allwork, who he beat for the championship.
I'll have to give it. He is a fighting champion. He seems to be taking on all comers here.
Yeah, and obviously Roger Mathis, the bigger of the two and the stronger of the two. But you know what? I did a Facebook Live event with both men in a spear right off the bat here. And Hatton, has kind of a reputation, an image, if you will, and a second spear. He could be ending this early.
If this was a normal matchup, he might have the win already.
Well, he needs to get that ladder and climb up to the very top. But Hatton has that reputation sometimes. I think fans look at him and overlook his abilities and kind of go cosmetic and judge him as a pretty boy and not a tough guy. But he is obviously proven that he can stand up to the biggest and the best around the region and around the world. Let's face
You
it.
can't really fault the fans for judging.
Well, and Hatton is, as I mentioned, around the world. He has wrestled in England and in Ireland. He's wrestled for WWE, and now he is wrestling right here in Stride Pro Wrestling as the champion, and now a chair getting involved in this match.
So you're saying this reputation as a pretty boy has followed him all around the world?
It has followed him all around the world, but he's picked up a lot of experience and now showing some of that aggression because Mathis has caused a lot of pain and agony for Heath Hatton.
Why would a pretty boy ever sign up for a match like this?
Well, I think, he's trying to disprove that pretty boy notion, and he's also trying to get some revenge. And revenge often is a dish best served cold, and this has been brewing for several months now. Another,
he's not going to be very pretty after that.
a third spear attempt, but right into those chairs, and I think he might have caught his shoulder on that one chair.
Is that his surgically repaired shoulder?
That, I'm not 100% sure. It's a cannonball now.
There could be a future surgery set up now.
That's 300 pounds crashing right into you. No protective gear there. And now Mathis putting the boots to Hatton as he goes outside the ring.
So you're saying no countouts?
No countouts, no disqualifications. Anything goes, as the only way to win the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is to climb that ladder and get that belt. Now Mathis bringing a chair in.
What kind of match is this? Is this the only match of this caliber that Heath Hatton's ever been?
This is Heath Hatton's first TLC match. I believe Hatton has been involved in ladder matches before. Roger Mathis, a big man too, so I would think that his size may factor into climbing that ladder as well.
Is he going to be able to get up that ladder?
Well, we're going to find out, I'm sure.
Is there a double reinforced ladder? Is that the only ladder involved in this match? So there's got to be something else to handle him to get up there.
There are a couple of other ladders in or outside of the ring as Hatton is slammed onto that chair, and that's going to hurt the back for sure.
It's hard to climb a ladder if you can't stand. I'm just going to throw that out.
Absolutely a valid point here as Mathis now, well, I thought he was going to move that ladder to position it to climb it, but perhaps he's going to use it as a weapon here, as a kick to the ribs.
I think he's just clearing it out to make more room to wipe the floor with Hatton.
Well, he's doing just that. He is wiping the floor with Heath Hatton. His hat now fighting back here, a couple of closed fists. And an enziguri. Mathis is taking off his feet, which doesn't happen very often here in Stride Pro Wrestling.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Mathis is undefeated in Stride Pro Wrestling.
That is not 100% accurate. Mathis has had his go-arounds with Chris Hargis, who we saw 2 weeks ago right here, facing off against Farmer Billy Hills. Those two have been pretty evenly matched, although Mathis, has gotten the upper advantage and actually won a fatal three-way against both Axe Allwork and Chris Hargis. That's how he earned this championship opportunity. And he will take full advantage of it, I'm sure. As now the chairs, as we mentioned, are legal, and Mathis feeling the effects of that.
Now, why do I have a feeling the general manager set up ladders in this match that didn't have his weight requirements in mind, so we couldn't actually scale this ladder?
Well, I don't know what kind of ladders are reinforced or what the weight requirements are, but look at this. Mathis is going up.
It seems to be a little wobbly, though.
Outweighs Hatton by about 80 pounds or so.
Oh, he couldn't possibly be setting him up for some sort of move.
Looks like a suplex coming up.
It looks more like a super duper plex.
Oh! And Hatton is rattled by that, but I think it might have taken just as much out of Mathis.
The old duperplex off the lap.
Don't see many of those, especially here in Stride Pro Wrestling. This is only the second ladder match in the history of Stride Pro. As we mentioned earlier, Jerry Travelstead, T-Dog, winning the first Legacy Championship right here in this very building in a ladder match. But now we're factoring in tables and chairs, and that can be a dangerous trio. As now
more weapons are being brought into play.
We're seeing our first table now brought into this match. We've seen the chair used. We've seen the ladder used.
Now the Holy Trinity will be brought out.
That's right. And, well, it looks like we're going for more than just one table at that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't win the match by putting a man through a table.
That is correct.
This is purely for amusement only.
This is to punish your opponent and incapacitate them and then climb that ladder. A traditional table match, yes, the first man to go through a table would lose the match and the championship in this case, but that is not how the rules are set up for this. I'm not sure exactly what Mathis has on his mind here, though. Instead of just simply going for the belt, which he could do, Hatton is incapacitated right now.
He wants to do permanent damage.
He's going to inflict some punishment. He threatened him and said his goal wasn't necessarily to win the title, but to hurt Keith Hatton. And now he's setting up that second table.
So perhaps he is eyeing a future match down the line. He just wants to injure him here.
Absolutely, trying to maim him, do what he can. A lot of disdain and dislike, disrespect, as far as I can see. And setting Hatton up now for a powerbomb through the table. Hatton reversing it though.
And a big DDT.
Now Mathis feeling those effects. And Hatton may take advantage here. There are two tables set up for him, but no. He's saying, get me back to my belt here.
He clearly just wants to win. He does not care about dealing damage. He just wants to get the win.
I can't say that I blame him, as fighting and going toe-to-toe with Mathis is not a good idea. Ooh. And Mathis brings him down the hard way, reintroduces him to the mat.
Mathis clearly has no eye on getting that championship.
No, now
he's getting the ladder out of the ring. The only way you can win, he's getting rid of it.
Taking the ladder out of the equation.
He is dead set on using these tables.
He wants to hurt Keith Hatton. That is his only plan for the night.
He's already got him with the chair.
There's the power bomb. He's got him up. Can he keep him?
Off balance.
And that has led to Hatton's advantage here as he's throwing a couple of fists and knocks him into the corner here. Several fists being thrown now. As Hatton is just kind of swatted away, but goes over the top rope, does Roger Mathis. Hatton has that ring presence to know to pull that top rope down.
This could be a huge development match.
Absolutely. They have spilled to the floor where there are more ladders, the original ladder, and some chairs. And now Hatton using the ladder as an actual weapon and not just something to use to get to the championship belt.
I assume he's going to use that to get up there.
bringing it back into the ring, already new ladder into the ring as the other one just kind of lays there ringside.
So this has been brewing for months.
This has been brewing for quite some time. Roger Mathis, a former member of the Midwest Mafia with Red Daniels and Jake Capone, who has simply left Stride Pro Wrestling. No questions answered. We've tried to reach out to him, have not heard back from him. Now Red Daniels, as we saw 2 weeks ago, took on Jay Spade, who is a friend of Heath Hatton. Roger saying he's sick of this.
Sick of this crap.
Getting all the ladders.
Now he threw them out. Now he's bringing them all in. I can't imagine what he's doing. Referee Lane Austin also avoiding getting hit by the ladder. Mathis, just a dangerous individual. Look at this.
Oh, right into the corner. That could spell the win for Heath Hatton.
Absolutely needs to get back into that ring, but I think he's got a lot of cobwebs too. Took some abuse outside of the ring for several minutes. And Mathis is out as he hit that steel ring post, metal ring post.
Appears to be totally incapacitated.
And Hatton needs to get his wherewithal and set that ladder up and get this belt and get out of here. Live to fight another day. There's a locker room full of contenders. Everybody wants a shot at the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Mathis back on his feet, but I don't know that he knows where he is. Oh, yeah, he does. He's grabbed a chair.
He's already inflicted a lot of damage to that chair already this match.
Hatton. Although that ladder not as tall as the first ladder.
Could you even reach the title? Would you have to step on the very top to reach the title?
That appears
Not
to be
good
the case. That is
thinking on
not
Heath Hatton's part.
a tall ladder by any means. As Mathis now getting nailed with that chair repeatedly. Hatton taking full advantage of the rules of this match, TLC, where you can use any of these to your advantage.
There's ladders everywhere in the ring. How are they going to work around it?
It's going to be difficult. Oh! Face first into that chair.
Every square inch of this ring is taken up by some sort of form.
It looks like Home Depot has taken over in the ring. But now Mathis, again, not setting that ladder up underneath.
I believe it's because that ladder was too small.
That may be that's a very good point, Gaylord.
I think that ladder was just inserted to fake out Mathis. I believe that the general manager was thinking, hey, we'll put this short ladder there, maybe we'll try to use it.
Well, now we have a trio of ladders set up. What is Mathis going to do here? Obviously, he can't win the match this way.
Or could he?
Well, I suppose anything is possible. Now he's got to...
He's maybe trying to create some sort of...
setting up almost a scaffold-like structure now. That can't be easy, lifting and lugging all this equipment around, wrestling a match, and trying to win the championship belt.
This is a very astute procedure here set up by Mathis. I don't know what he's building here. I think it's going to be very dangerous, whatever he is trying to accomplish.
Well, he's taking his time, too, and giving Hatton a chance to breathe here.
He's erecting some sort of stairway to heaven. I don't know how or what he's going to do with this.
I don't like the odds for Hatton, though, as Mathis now focusing his attention back on the champion.
Nothing good can happen from that structure, he said.
Absolutely not. Fireman's carry now. And he's going to take him
He's going to try and
off.
climb this thing.
He has got him going up now on this rigged scaffold, but Hatton slips out.
Oh, big knee to the face.
Oh, and Hatton was going to try to take advantage, but ends up going over the top rope himself.
There are no double countdowns.
No. One man must win this matchup, and the only way to do that is to grab the Heavyweight Championship, which is suspended above the ring here at Community Consolidated 204 in Pinkyville.
So we'll go all night if we have.
there's the potential of that happening, yeah. But it looks like Mathis trying to figure out what his next move is going to be.
Is Mathis trying to take the weirdest route to this championship? I mean, it seemed pretty straightforward. Set up the ladder and climb up, and he's trying to create some sort of wacky apparatus to get up there.
And again, that may be into his mind games with Hatton, trying to psych him out and punish him as much as possible.
I mean, the only thing he could do now is set up another ladder on top of that table.
Well, that would be a dangerous situation, as if this isn't dangerous enough already.
Are they going to meet in the middle here?
Well, Hatton is up.
This makeshift catwalk.
Oh my goodness. That does not look sturdy or safe. Oh my, what the? Mathis breaking that table in half, and Hatton rolling out his momentum took him to the floor.
Mathis's best laid plans come crashing down in his face.
Literally and figuratively, Mathis is hurt. Referee Lane Austin checked on him, but Hatton not moving either. We may need to get that medic backstage to come out here and keep an eye on these guys.
Possibly that janitor as well, because his blood cleaned up out here.
Wow. No blood spilled yet, at least it doesn't appear.
But chaos.
Chaos for sure. As the fans cheering once again for Heath to get back into the ring, and he is doing that.
They're looking at this car wreck. You can't look away from it.
That's a great way to describe this action. It is almost like a car wreck. Bodies strewn about, crumpled up materials, weapons, and what in the world is this? Red Daniels, what is he doing out here?
This is legal though, correct?
Well, it is, but why is he here? What's his motivation?
Apparently he does not like Heath Hatton.
No, he does not. 2 weeks ago, he lost to Jay Spade fair and square. Oh! A bottle comes from the crowd, and Daniels is not happy at all. And I think Heath Hatton's going to pay the price for that angle.
Oh, there's another table set up out here.
Red Daniels and Roger Mathis at one time part of the Midwest Mafia. I don't know that that's still a thing,
Who
but
they got?
that's Jay Spade, who obviously has unfinished business with Red Daniels.
Mathis is getting plenty of time to recuperate. I mean, he might have enough time to set up another makeshift cat.
Well, he is up. Referee Lane Austin is checking on him. Not up, but at least moving and out of that broken table. That's Jay Spade now in the ring and here to help Heath Hatton. Even the score, if you will. It was a 2-on-1.
Oh, so now you're saying it's fair.
Well, it's 2-on-2 now.
I only see 2-on-1.
Well, Red Daniels is incapacitated ringside.
Attack from behind.
Look at this. Mathis now getting set up by Hatton as Jay Spade. Oh! Super kick right to Hatton.
It appears mistakes were made.
And a spinning wheel kick there. Ooh, and a forearm. Hatton crashes through that table.
How opportunistic will Mathis be here?
Well, you got to think Hatton, the champion, just went through a table, and Jay Spade was brought out here to equalize things with the interference from Red Daniels.
He's doing it the old-fashioned way. He's just going to use one ladder here.
Can he reach it, though?
I believe he's got it.
He's got his hands on it, but he's got it.
He's got it. We've got a new champion here.
I can't believe this. A mistake by Jay Spade has cost Heath Hatton the Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title.
But was it a mistake?
Well, clearly it was a mistake.
I mean, he threw a kick and it hit Heath Hatton. I mean, I don't think there was a mistake there.
Jay Spade was gonna kick Roger Mathis, who is now apparently the new heavyweight champion.
It's very interesting indeed. In my book, though, shoulda, coulda, woulda, he did. We know what he did do. He kicked Heath Hatton.
But that was an accident, obviously.
In your book, yes. As far as you're concerned, that was an accident.
Well, I can't imagine Jay Spade would have had any ill intent of trying to even up the odds in this matchup.
Well, we won't know until we talk to the first person.
That's right. We will hear from Jay Spade, I'm sure, in the coming weeks here as Lane Austin raises the hand of the new Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Winner fair and square. heavyweight champion.
Well, I don't know about fair and square as Red Daniels now joining the fray here as he clearly attacked and mauled Keith Hatton outside the ring too.
All well within the rules of the game.
And now Mathis putting that title on his belt. The fans here shocked and surprised. I'm in shock as well. I would have never thought things would have gone down this way as Mathis now soaking up some of cheers, but a lot of boos here from this crowd.
I'm just shocked by Chris Page actually.
Obviously, too, a relationship still between Red Daniels and our new Stride Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Roger Mathis.
Are they forming some sort of faction here within Stride?
I don't know. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered. You'll find out. Head to Facebook.com/Stride Pro Wrestling. Find us on social media. Fans, thanks so much for joining us after the Storm Part 2. We'll see you once again in 2 weeks.